Hi guys, it is August 17th. I took a mental health day like I said I was going to. And I have gone through more of kind of, I guess, what inspired. I definitely ramped up 2013. And when I look at this, I'm kind of mind blown that, like, as a Christian, I have felt like this whole topic is taboo and it's just wrong. I mean, I've always felt like it's wrong to begin with. And the Christian faith just kind of, I don't know, I put it in a box that it was not okay. Anyways, it's mind-boggling to me that I clearly struggled with this. I struggled with the pain. I struggled with everything about even being naked in front of Sam. I obviously struggled with even like how much painful it was. And that's through a lot of it. I went to my first counselor. Well, it was funny because it says in here on March 31st, 2013 that we decided to get counseling. And it actually says Sam and I decided to attend counseling over sex issues as it comes up too frequently, and Sam is very unsatisfied. The interesting thing with that is that Sam didn't go. Because in the mind frame, and I felt this as well, it was my issue, not his. And so that's why only I went, I guess. But it's interesting to me that we said we decided we needed to, and then it's only me. I did bring it up with the counselor then that I thought not wanting semen on my body, this is June 9th, 2013, I thought might have been because of undies being tied to my face. As a child, when I was about 8, 9, by one of my mom's exes, I had not a bedwetting problem, but I had a problem wetting my pants. And after that, we did find out that I had a really bad bladder infection. I was actually hospitalized for a month. It was really extreme kidney bladder infection. And yeah, those wet undies were being tied to my face, and I was having to sit like that for what seemed like hours. My mom wasn't around. She didn't know about this. And I said that could have contributed to semen being on me. I'm sure I've told Sam about that. So, but obviously the connection wasn't made. Obviously the connection was made in this counseling session, but still nothing. I can still remember feeling like it was just me, my issue, and like I was a freak. To which Sam didn't say anything. Like, he just kept pushing as if I was a freak. Now I'm shocked because we were going through all that, and that was such a big issue. And then in August 31st, 2013, it says that I got massage oil, and it says that I got a 365 sex book. And I'm kind of like, what in my right mind allowed it to get to that stage? Because that book was about different positions and trying different things, and I literally was struggling just to actually be naked and actually try to have sex with my husband in the normal way. I know sex toys had been introduced at this time, which again, I'm kind of like, why the hell did I even go there? Because it didn't help, and it just kind of perpetuated the issue and made me actually feel worse. And it didn't actually make him feel better either. So I'm baffled because I wasn't ready for these toys. I wasn't ready for these books or games, but and I wrote that I would just eventually get comfortable. Like, that's what I thought. I would eventually get comfortable doing these things that I didn't really want to do, or experimenting with these things. And to a certain extent, I have got comfortable using these things. And that's all I'll say on that topic. The other thing that I wrote down is that in 2014, I actually didn't write it. So the big thing is that I had so many things that happened. And sex wasn't a main issue for me, so I didn't emphasize it in my journals as much as it was for him. Because there was a multitude of issues, one thing literally after another piled on top of each other. We actually had such a hard marriage from the word go, with jobs and depression and suicide and contemplation of suicide by him, and not having jobs and having jobs, and money being a huge issue, and me trying to get residency, and me trying to go to school and finish school, and people having babies right, left, and center. A lot of deaths occurred in our marriage as well, people that we loved. Yeah, there was just literally one thing after my weight, like trying to lose weight, constantly trying to do better, but never getting ahead. So 3 steps forward, 10 steps back, always throughout our marriage. And that was really hard. And November 14th, I can remember going to Australia and being pushed to go to a strip club. Didn't want him going to one, let him go to one. He pressured me into going. I kind of said, I'll go once and that'll be it. I never want to go again. Hated it the whole time. Can't remember whether or not I cried going, but I really didn't want to go. I was really, really upset about the whole thing. And then it jumps to April 4th, 2016, saying Sam's feeling depressed over sex again. He wants it to be more dirty, wants it to be more sexy, and I've kind of said I don't ever feel sexy around him. He never compliments me, and I feel like there's no emotion. I felt like I needed to reprogram myself to like him, even trying to be inside me or touching me. And he did throw out that he was told that sex would be a marriage, and he was told that sex would be amazing in marriage, and it's not. And I kind of said that I needed him to, like, compliment me and, like, desire me and stuff like that. And he just kind of said no. And I did say to him that I felt like he watched too much porn, and so that's given him an unrealistic idea. He does say in this journal entry as well that he didn't want to pressure me to do stuff that I didn't want to do, but I still felt like he was 100% pressuring me. It looks like April 4th, 2016 was one of the first times that I wrote that we thought about calling it quits over sex. I wrote that I wanted to be a good wife and I wanted to satisfy him, and that I was afraid of putting him into another depression. And said it seems that and I didn't want the issue around sex to throw him into a depression, and I didn't understand how it was making him so miserable. But I was glad that we could be open and honest. I had said that I thought sex was out of love, and he kind of said sex is sex. And he kind of was frustrated that I could only orgasm with a sex toy, TMI, but obviously that's going to come up in this whole thing. And yeah. Anyways, January 7th, I had wrote down that it was our anniversary. And for some reason I wrote in the words something about how just like I can't give him head, he can't give me big gestures. So it's not something he could change, and it's not something I could change. And more about how I needed to be a more positive, supportive wife. June 25th, I actually attended a second sex party. I had attended one earlier and got some stuff earlier, way early. Obviously, I didn't document it. It was for kind of like a hen's party. And this one, I was desperate. I remember being like just feeling desperate and what could I do? And so I thought, right, I'll get some more toys. I'll try to get some lubricant that might help me to not gag. If I felt like I could finally give him head, I had tried in the past. I'm in tears trying to do these things. But I felt like I needed to work harder. Yeah, to actually do these things for him. And I even said that I thought that I might need to go on medication for anxiety so that I could do these things for him, even though I didn't want to. I told him that I didn't want any pressure and that he needed to work harder on making me feel beautiful and sexy to do this because I'm so uncomfortable with it. Again, he didn't seem to actually care. July 25th, I actually did a lingerie party, which the lingerie party is something that I actually do really like. I love baby dolls. I've loved baby dolls my entire life. I've got a collection of baby dolls. But even the sexiness and beautiness I found out of baby dolls and putting those on kind of got taken away because he actually didn't care. He actually didn't care. September 27th, 2017. This is where it starts getting completely insane. And I just broke down. I had some meltdowns. We had a discussion around sex again. But this time he told me he wasn't attracted to me and I needed to lose weight. And he told me he couldn't tell me that I looked good when I dressed up because he didn't want to lie to me, and he wants me to be more sexy and open and afraid to say what he wants sexually as it would scare me. We didn't want to call it quits, but we decided to do counseling, and this was actually the beginning of the end. Why we bought a house in 2015, I have no idea. None. It actually baffles me now. Like, I don't even understand any of this anymore. Anyways, we did go to counseling together, but yeah, it didn't work. And yeah, I don't know. There was just so much pressure to do things I didn't want to do. And then when Sabre got involved, and she did that video chat with me and Sam saying how I should do whatever he wanted me to do. And I was just being a silly wife. And that was what it was. That's what needed to be happening. And then when it came out that she actually propositioned him and wanted to be his girlfriend, blah, blah, things just got bad. So yeah, he had said he wanted me to do oral sex, but I thought it was disgusting, so I didn't want to do it, and everything just spiraled. There's so many entries in 2017, you could tell, like, when this came about, we were just at the end of our Home for Life journey, and when everything went downhill, like I've got multiple entries on how I felt, and it was after we had finally put kids to bed. So I kind of just like had said, enough's enough. Life is going to be finally good. We paid off a majority of our debt. We had just come back from a holiday in Canada. Did sex come up in Canada? Yes. Did I write about it? No. Because I was too busy having fun with my family. And again, I was somehow able to put that, which was literally about 70 to 80% of our marriage, into a little box. A little box that I put away, that I tried not to concentrate on because so much other stuff was going on. So it came up. He got angry that we weren't sleeping together more, even though we were in other people's houses, and I didn't like the idea of it. We did a little bit, but still was nothing. And yeah. Anyways, like there is lots of, I don't know what I have said and haven't said on this blog, but I thought this was interesting. On October 4th, so it's before we split away, we went to go to Telpo. He wanted me to have sex in the spa with him, and I was like, mate, you just told me a little while ago, measured my tummy and told me that you didn't know if you loved me, and you weren't attracted to me, and you want me to have sex with you. Like, how the frig does that actually work? Like, you just broken so much trust in those words. And it was after he had set me down in a video chat as well, the weekend after. He had set me down in a video chat literally 3 days later. 3 days before this, saying pretty much that I was friggin' retarded. Yeah. Yeah, it was stupid. Like, he just pushed and pushed and pushed. He wanted me to masturbate in front of him, and I was like, can't do that either. Like, not comfortable doing that. And then he proceeded to tell me how I was supposed to masturbate. Like, it couldn't be with toys. It had to be my hand or whatever. Like, I was just like, do you hear yourself? You are completely taking control of this situation. And it's actually got to the point where it was like I was finally able to concentrate on it, and I finally got to the point where I was like, this doesn't seem right anymore. Like, it's not okay anymore. I told him that I didn't feel special or treasured, value. I felt irreplaceable. I felt like a failure. Like, nothing I did was ever right. Nothing was ever good enough. And it was the last 3 to 4 years of intensity with sex. And I was completely at breaking point. And then everything was said. And I broke up with him, and I went to Christchurch. And I wrote on October 25th, 2017. So on October 11th, 2017, he asked me for an open marriage. And he told me that Sabre played a huge part in this, and I just felt like I was being laughed at because they were in a video chat with me telling me how I should have done things differently or whatever. Anyways, October 25th, I actually wrote, I feel like I've been abused, unloved, thrown away by the person who was supposed to protect me forever. In an email, he said he felt bad about taking something special away from me, but he continued to sleep with me. So he didn't actually feel that upset now, did he? Anyways, I tried everything in my power after this, after we split up. I read books, I read articles, I started Snapchatting and role playing with him, which is just retarded because I was trying to be something that I wasn't, which is what I believe he did the entire time through our marriage. And yes, I was doing it, and I kind of said that none of it mattered, and I was empowering myself and trying to convince myself that I could do these things that I absolutely did not want to do, and that it didn't matter because I knew we weren't going to get back together. But the fact that I went back to him quite a few times and asked him if he wanted to get back together with us, and he kept saying no, I did kind of hope that by doing these things that it would. And I'm glad it didn't, because I don't even know, like, this whole thing is just mind-blowing to me. Why? Yeah. And I kind of said in something here, oh, this was it, on the 28th. I wrote, I think I need to get out. I want to feel better. I don't want to feel like a failure, like I'm trapped, like I'm ugly and fat. I want Sam to see how I've tried, and it feels unfair. I write, I wouldn't do something that makes me sick or cry or feel nasty. It's not about sex. It's not how sex should be with your husband. I feel broken with him. People don't have this relationship, this pressure, unless both want it. I hate living like this. His expectation of sex is over the relationship. Even when I was 61 kgs, I never got compliments. The judgment on my body is too much, and he's never happy. I don't know how much fight I have left. I hate disappointing God. I want to stay in this marriage, but I can't keep being judged on my body and how good I am in bed. Enough is enough. And I said that on September 28, 2017. So I had actually finally somehow clawed my way out. And here I am, literally almost 5 years later, finally figuring out that to a certain degree that was sexual abuse. And that's crazy. Like, I can't get my head around it. I'm in a little bit of a denial. I know it wasn't right. I know it's done damage. I know it's caused trauma. I know that is the cause of a lot of things. I know it started before him. I know it's been perpetuated and snowballed since him. In the way I feel about myself, and regardless. Anyways, I told you that I would go through the ACC process, so I want to talk to you about that. I have actually told his sister-in-law. I just told her today. Again, mind-boggling. At first she was like, what the heck? What do you mean? And then when I said, like, with the pressure and making me do things that I didn't want to do, and yes, I agreed to do these things, but reluctantly, and it shows in my journals. I was reluctant. I was desperate to keep my husband. I wanted to be a good wife. I wanted to keep my marriage. I felt like I needed to do these things in order. But I got to breaking point. I got to breaking point quite a few times, and finally, with somebody else in the picture, I was kind of like, okay, enough's enough. I'm going to walk out. So yeah, I told her that not to tell her husband because I don't want any ill effects found on Sam. But because she is my friend first, I wanted to tell her, and I wanted her to know this journey that I was going on. She said how cool it was that I had been journaling so that I know, and it's kind of triggered them things for me, like in making me remember. And it definitely has, because there's lots of things I didn't write about that I then have written on this piece of paper that I remember from that time. And she was happy that I could get this counseling. Anyway, so 2 sessions for getting started. We fill out a basic claim form, which I'm going to do on Tuesday. It's about 45 minutes with some basic details of abuse. This gets us a claim number from ACC and acceptance of initial claim. Then I have 4 sessions, and they're called early planning, and we now get to put more detail on paper, talking through a plan for what is wanted for the counseling, and this is submitted to ACC in the form of a report. And she applies for a psychologist to assess me, which is organized by Care Waitakere, and we just wait. My ultimate goal is to work through my body image and to work through the idea that sex is bad and wrong and feels yuck, and to work through why I felt so pressured to do these things and how, like, strategies to put in place so that I never get put in this situation ever again where I feel like I need to do things that I am crying over, things that I am not comfortable with, to the point where I'm thinking about getting put on anxiety medicine to do them. Like, are you crazy? Like, why in the world did I think like this? Like, I shouldn't have thought like that. That is, all of it is wrong, and I know that it's wrong, but I know that I don't know how to stop feeling like that because of this situation. So those are my goals. I just want to be healthier, and work through this, and the trust of being able to trust somebody sexually. I've never ever had that. So how do I get that? What do I need in order to feel that, to get sex to feel like it's not something that's bad? And that I wasn't robbed of something amazing. Like, I am so fearful that that is going to be my only ever like sexual experience. That's it. And it was such a bad one. And he agrees with me. It was a bad one. Anyway, so a psychologist will do an assessment on me, and apparently that can take up to 3 1.5-hour sessions, and that's with her and the psychologist, and then they write up a report. They submit it to ACC. ACC reviews the report and tells us their decision. If we're accepted, we then put together another report, which includes goals, number of sessions that we required, and any support I might need. So I might be able to start getting taxis to and from where I need. Maybe even trying to figure out like sick leave or something that I'm entitled to if I end up having to take off work. I don't know if that could be included at all. I'm just saying that. Anyways, ACC, then we submit it. ACC will review again and let us know what will be covered and how we can proceed from there, and give me a year's worth of counseling sessions. She did say it could take longer than a year, and that's fine. So she's gonna talk to me more about it on Tuesday. Then she's given me this self-care assessment. She said, there's no right or wrong way for this. Definitely don't do it at nighttime. And it just says, activities are the things you do to maintain good health and improve well-being. You'll find that many of the activities are things you already do as part of your normal routine. In this assessment, you will think about how frequently or how well you're performing different self-care activities. The goal of this assessment is to help you learn about self-care needs by spotting pattern and recognizing areas of your life that need more attention. So it says, I do this poorly, I do this okay, I do this well, or I do this rarely, not at all, I do this sometimes, I do this often, and things I want to improve on. And I mark it 1 to 4 pretty much. And it's got physical self-care, which is eating healthy foods, taking care personal hygiene, exercise, wear clothes that make me feel good about myself, eat regularly, participate in fun activities, get enough sleep, go to preventive medication appointments, rest when sick, overall self-care, help. And then there's like psychological, emotional self-care, take time off work, school and other obligations, participate in hobbies, get away from distractions, learn new things unrelated to work or school, express my feelings in a healthy way, recognize my own strengths and achievement, go to vacation or day trips, do something comforting, find reasons to laugh, talk about my problems, overall psychological and emotional self-care. And then there's social self-care, spend time with people who I like, call or write a family and friend who are far away, have stimulating conversations, meet new people, spend alone time with my romantic partner, ask others for help when needed, do enjoyable activities with other people, have intimate time with my romantic partner, keep in touch with old friends, overall social self-care. Spiritual self-care, spend time in nature, meditate, pray, recognize the thing that's given meaning to my life, act in accordance with my moral and values, set aside time for thoughts and reflection, participate in causes that is important to me, appreciate art that has impacted me, overall spiritual self-care. How do I think I'm doing? And professional self-care. Improve my professional skills. Say no to excessive new responsibilities. Take on projects that are interesting or rewarding. Learn new things that relate to my profession. Make time to talk and build relationships with colleagues. Take breaks during work. Maintain balance between my professional and personal life. Keep a comfortable workplace allows me to be successful. Advocate for fair pay, benefits, and other needs. And what is my overall professional self-care? So again, I marked those under the 3 things of how I'm doing. Do I do this poorly or rarely? Do I do this okay or sometimes? Do I do this well or often? And would I like to improve this or make this more frequently? Those are the things I marked it on. So this video is very long and I talked about a lot of things and don't even ask me how I talk about half these things and not cry, because I don't know, because I thought I was going to break down and cry with my sister-in-law, because I said the minute I said it to her, I feel like it's real. But yeah, anyways, I will let you know when there is something else to report. Kindy just got a hold of me and they want me to come in to see the Kindy to then go from there. So I am looking into when I can go there.